Cooking with wine is nothing new or unusual for most of us. All of you probably at some point have had a, I don't know, wine reduction sauce, or maybe even used wine to deglaze a pan. Maybe you've had a stew with wine in it. Italians obviously really like their wine, and so they take cooking with wine to a whole other level though. I've seen wine used in Italy in all kinds of crazy ways, but Eva promises me today some really crazy ways that Italians use wine. She has 3 recipes in store today. The first 2 I have never tried before. I don't know what they are. I don't know what she has in store. The third I've actually had before, and it's really good. You should stay tuned for it. And it's probably one of our most frequent recipe requests. People ask for this one a lot, so we're finally doing it. So sit back, relax, grab a glass of Vino, and let's get cooking with wine. Okay, so clearly you're making pasta, and obviously you're making pasta with wine, and you have a lot of wine for this amount of pasta.
Because we are going to cook the pasta into the wine. In the pan I put some olive oil, the clove of garlic and some bay leaves. And when the oil is enough hot, and you understand because the garlic starts to bubbling, is the time in which we can add our main ingredient, which is the wine. When the wine starts to simmer, to boil, we can add some salt, and we add our pasta.
Just right in the pan?
Right in the pan, if it's like a pot of water. Now, keep in mind that there are several versions of this pasta. There is someone who puts the onion, anchovies, other things. I like to go in the most simple way. There are also people who cook the pasta separate to the sauce, but if it needs to be a drunken pasta, it needs to be cooked in wine.
It's kind of like pasta all'assassina, except the assassin is too drunk to do his job.
Yes, more or less. I'm going to add just a little bit of black pepper.
So now I assume you're just kind of cooking this until the pasta is al dente?
See? Until the pasta is cooked. The only thing is that we need to see if we need more liquid, which means that it's always good to have some hot water on your side, and if we need, we are going to add some water. When the pasta is done, what we need to do is turn off the heat, add a little bit of butter, some cheese, and mix it.
Wow, okay. That is unlike anything I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot of pasta in my day.
This is one of the easiest pasta dishes that you can have.
It was really simple.
It's more or less hands-off. You need just to put something ingredients in a pan and let it cook.
What is this called, by the way?
This is called spaghetti ubriachi.
Oh, literally drunken spaghetti.
See, drunken spaghetti.
Makes sense.
Because it's drunken with wine. And it's very important that when you make this kind of pasta, you use a very good wine. Otherwise, you will eat the pasta with vinegar.
Buon appetito. Oh, okay. That is well worth making.
It has a completely, I don't know how you say, different taste.
Yeah, it is truly unlike any pasta I've ever had in a very good way. It is really creamy and super flavorful. I thought that maybe with that amount of wine, it would be like too much or something. Nope. No. Makes an amazing sauce.
It is a plate of very good pasta. I always said, and I will always say that I don't understand why people they are obsessed with cacio e pepe. Because there are so many other simple pasta dishes in Italy that they are 10,000 times better.
And actually with that cheese you put in, it has that kind of cheesy, creamy cacio e pepe sort of thing, except with wine. Oh, this is so good. It's on the same level of simplicity as like aglio olio and pepperoncino. It's about the same amount of like effort, you know. Actually, maybe even less because it's a one pot, or one of the rare cases of a real one pot pasta.
You need just one big pan where your pasta will fit.
This is not a novelty recipe. That's what I thought at first. I'm like, okay, this is like kind of a, you know, a gag almost. Like, let's see if we can. No, this is really worth making.
This is a legit plate of pasta. The result is much more than the effort you put to make it. And the sauce.
This is how, like, you can see how creamy this sauce is.
Because the pasta released all the starch in the wine, so.
That's what happens when you cook pasta like risotto style. The danger is it can be too starchy in some cases, but for something like this, when you have basically only wine being the sauce, it helps to, yeah.
It's perfect.
Oh. Off to a good start. All right, well, after that, I'm very excited to see what you have next. Okay, this is interesting. I don't see any wine. I see bread. Are you making a wine sandwich?
No. No, Harper, not yet. Maybe in the future we arrive also to make a wine sandwich. For now, we make a wine soup.
A wine soup?
Sì.
Is that just wine?
No.
Is that just a glass of wine?
Actually, also this can be a wine soup, but no, it has wine with other ingredients. And we start from the bread.
Okay.
What we need to do with the bread is cut some slice of bread. It needs to be stale bread.
And actually, technically, a soup in Italy means stale bread. And if you want to learn all about that, you can go watch this video right up here.
Now we need to, let me say, cube our bread. After the butter is completely melted, we can add the bread and start to fry it. When it starts to become golden, we can add the cinnamon, and then we can finish it cooking.
Oh, we finally have some wine.
We are going to use this time a white wine from the north of Italy. I'm going to use a Pinot Grigio Val d'Adige because this recipe is from Trentino Alto Adige. So this is the perfect wine. This is a beef broth that I made yesterday. Then I'm going to use some cream.
Has hell frozen over? Ava's cooking with cream.
This is an ingredient required by this recipe, so I need to use the cream, eggs, and nutmeg.
This is shaping up to be an interesting soup.
It's a very interesting soup. One of the most important things about this soup is that it's cooked bagno Maria. In English,
in English it's French, which is bain marie.
Okay, by the way, bagno Maria. So be sure to have a pot, a bowl that actually makes you have a good bagno Maria. And what we are going to do is transfer the broth here. It's not that every day it happens to open a bottle of wine to make a soup. I'm adding the white wine to the broth. And then my beloved cream. I'm using a very low heat because I don't want to overcook the soup. As the soup is heating up, I'm going to separate the egg white from the yolk because in this recipe we need just the yolk. What you can do with the egg white is pasta di mandorla. There is also always an excuse to make some good pasta di mandorla. And we add the egg yolk to our soup. little black pepper, a good pinch of nutmeg. This soup should cook until it starts to thicken, but not boiling, because if it starts to boiling, you will end up having a stracciatella.
So basically, you want to thicken it, but you don't want it to break. You don't want the eggs to
Sì,
break.
it's a zabaione. Perfect. And then mixer, we should create a little bit of foam.
Okay, once again, here we are with never seen a soup quite like this.
This is a soup that comes from Trentino Alto Adige. But Trentino Alto Adige share this recipe also with close friends of Austria and Germany. That's why the name of this soup is Weinsuppe.
Weinsuppe?
Yes, in German.
Weinsuppe? That's what this is called?
Sì.
It's just called wine soup?
Sì, Weinsuppe. In Trentino,
No Weinsuppe for you.
in Trentino Alto Adige, you should know that half of the population speak German. Now, the smell of the nutmeg and the
Smells
smell
really good.
of the cinnamon is amazing.
Well, a lot of the things that went into this seem like dessert things. Like with a few small tweaks, this almost seems like a dessert, you know, like with the egg and the cream and stuff. It seems like kind of
But
a
then you have the wine and the
zabaione.
broth.
Yeah, but then also cinnamon and stuff. So I don't know what this is gonna taste like, but I'm about to find out. Gotta get my bread soaked in there. That's always the best part of any zuppa.
Buon
Buon
appetito!
appetito. Oh,
And I don't like cream.
that is phenomenal.
I don't like cream, but this
That is a big surprise. That is more of a surprise than the pasta was. This really is shockingly savory and like,
It's a very
yeah.
good soup. And the cinnamon with all these ingredients work amazing.
wow. It's one of the most bizarre dishes I've ever had. But when you taste it, you understand why they make this. It's really amazing.
Yeah, think about a very cold day
Yeah.
up in the Alps. You are back home and you have a soup like that that can warm not just your body but
Yeah.
also your soul, your
Yeah.
spirit.
It's kind of light and hearty at the same time. Does that make sense? Like
See?
eating it feels light, but it also feels very like rich and filling, and that's awesome. That's awesome. That's a really cool soup.
It's a very, very cool soup.
I just realized we haven't even mentioned the wine, but the wine plays a really important part.
It gives the acidity that the wine has
Yeah,
because most of the savory part comes from the broth.
yeah.
Your basic is broth.
Yeah, you're
The
right.
wine.
It's like that slightly sour taste, yeah. Weinsuppe. Love it. Our next dish is not going to seem as weird, probably, because a lot of people seemingly are familiar with it. Are you ready to make some wine cookies?
Yes, Albert. What we're going to prepare is a cookie that is very famous in the center of Italy, but right now also in all the rest of Italy. Those are cookies made with wine. The great thing about this cookie is how simple they are to make, because they require very simple ingredients that I bet everyone has in the pantry at home. 00 flour or all-purpose flour, a little bit of sugar. I'm using red wine. If you don't have red wine, you can also change with white wine. A little bit of olive oil, or you can use also another vegetable oil, and just a pinch of baking powder. Now, this is the basic recipe. If you want to be a little bit more fancy, you can, for example, add also some chopped walnuts, chopped hazelnut. You can add, I don't know, some cinnamon, some cloves. You can add also fennel seeds, anise seeds. You can also play around this basic recipe. What we need to do here is mixing all the ingredients together. We start from flour, sugar, baking powder, wine, and the olive oil. And we can start to mix all the ingredients together.
I assume you don't need to knead it very long, just enough to kind of mix it together, right?
See, because they are cookies, and you want the cookies to be
Crumbly?
crumbly.
So now this is normally the part where you say, and now we need to let this rest for 72 hours.
No, in this case, no, we don't need this to rest. We can shape our cookies right away. So what we are going to do is cut small pieces of it. We roll the dough. And then when we have, let's say, the thickness of my Twinkie.
Not Twinkie.
Not Twinkie.
Not the thickness of a Twinkie, the thickness of a pinky maybe.
We cut like that, and we make a circle. Now what we do is coat them in sugar and place on a baking tray with parchment paper on top. Easy. We bake them for about 20-25 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit.
Even though I've had these wine cookies about 1,000,000 times, I always forget the name.
Ciambelline al vino.
Ciambellini? Ciambelline.
Al vino.
Al vino. So many people have written to us about these, and I think that these wine cookies are still really popular amongst Italian Americans in the Italian American community. And we've had lots of people write to us being like, I remember eating as a kid these like cookies with wine in them. Well, this is one of them. I think that there are a few other different kinds of like taralli and stuff with wine in them, but
In the south of Italy, in Calabria, for example, we do a version of wine cookies, but they are fried. Those are more Central Italy, so they are very famous in Marche, Abruzzo, Lazio. Over there you find them in every single bakery shop.
And as you guys saw, they are ridiculously easy and quick to make. So these are an easy go-to if you need to quickly whip up a dessert or you need to bring something to, I don't know, a potluck or something. Easy and really good.
So let's try them.
Absolutely. Buon appetito.
Buon appetito. It's one of the most familiar flavors of my life.
Yeah, we eat these a lot. They're really good. Very unique with the wine. It's an excellent flavor. Perfect texture of like just firm enough that they hold together and have like the tiniest bit of, not crunch really, but bite when you bite into them, but they're still really kind of like soft, like a great cookie in the middle.
And then they are not overly sweet. They are sweet in the right amount.
They're addicting, be careful.
This actually is real.
You lose count real fast how many you've eaten. So for all of you who have been asking for this recipe for years, sorry it took us so long to get to it, but we will put it down in the description below, along with the other 2 recipes today. Highly recommend trying them all. These have been 3 hits in a row, Eva. Well done.
Thank you, Harper.
If you try any of the recipes, tag us in a picture on Instagram or Facebook. We'd love to see it. Like this pasta grammarian. Valeria made panini ai napoletani. That works. It's plural. Panini ai napoletani.
No, because panini ai napoletani.
What?
Panini ai napoletani means or that you are giving sandwich to the Napolitan people, or that the sandwich by themselves tastes like Napolitan people.
Wait, no. Let me figure it out. It should be panini. How does that not? But isn't that what it would be?
No, because in the style of Napoli. It's rigatoni. You don't say alla carbonara.
so you would do panino alla napoletana.
Yes.
Okay. So would you do panini alla napoletana?
Yes, or panini napoletani. Not panini ai napoletani. Sorry.
I'm sure that Valeria's panini did not taste like Neapolitans.
No, I'm pretty sure that Valeria made an amazing job because from the photo they look amazing, and I'm also pretty sure that. Sorry.
I deserve it. I've made fun of your English many times, so go for it.
By the way, Valeria, you did a great job. When I look at the photo, I said, wow, those really are amazing. So, very well done.
Maybe Valeria did give her sandwiches to some Napoletani. Did you ever think about that?
Maybe it's possible that.
That's what I meant. She's a nice person, and she made her sandwiches, her panino alla napoletana, and then she went and she gave them ai napoletani.
Valeria, please, let us know if you made
Did you
something.
give your sandwich to some Neapolitans? Did you, Valeria? I think so. All right, guys, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already, and we will see you next time. Alla prossima. Eh? It's not that funny. It makes sense.
No, it's funny.
It makes sense.
It's fun. No, love. Ciao.
Ciao.
Panini ai napoletani.
I thought that through carefully before I said that sentence. I was sitting there thinking, what should it be if it's plural, if it's panini? Okay, then it would probably be ai napoletani.
Think next time.
Don't think next time.
Un bel piatto di panini ai napoletani.